We are now on the record. The time is 9:02 a.m. Eastern on July 29th, 2024. This begins the video conference deposition of Dylan Roberts, taken in the matter of PCA Acquisitions LLC versus Jason Thomason, filed in the state of Michigan in the 67-1 Civil District Court, case number which is 24-A0273-GC. My name is Robert Rinkowich. I'm your remote videographer today. The court reporter is Nicole Brooks. We are representing Esquire Deposition Solutions. As a courtesy to everyone who is not speaking, please mute your audio, and please remember to unmute your audio when you are ready to speak. Will everyone present please identify themselves and state whom you represent, after which the witness will be sworn in.
Hello, Brian Parker for the plaintiff. It's my client's deposition.
Alexander Sarhan, on behalf of PCA Acquisitions, the defendant.
Dylan Roberts on behalf of PCA Acquisitions.
Can we
Nicole,
go?
court reporter.
All right.
And-
What is your
and
full name,
Oh,
Mr.?
excuse me one second, Counselor Nicole, you have to swear him in?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was waiting for the videographer to finish. Are you all finished, sir?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. My name is Nicole Brooks, Notary Public and Digital Reporter for Esquire Deposition Solutions in the state of Michigan. Pursuant to Michigan Court Rules of Civil Procedure, I will be capturing the verbatim record of today's proceedings using electronic audio equipment, a computer, and specialized recording software, which is not a form of stenography. The witness is located in Pine Point Beach, Maine, and has confirmed his identity with his driver's license. Absent any objection at this time, counsel and the witness agree to my administration of the oath to this witness, and that the final transcript may be used for all purposes allowed by local rules of civil procedure. Hearing no objection, this shall constitute agreement and stipulation of such, and I will now swear the witness. Sir, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give today, sir, will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
You're all set. Thank you so much.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Roberts. Brian Parker here. Have you ever given your deposition before?
I have not.
Did you get a chance to look at the deposition notice?
Briefly, yes.
When did you receive it?
Friday afternoon.
What time?
I want to say 2:30. I could tell you exactly.
No, it's okay. It's cool. So when did you receive notice that you'd be appearing for a deposition?
I knew I would be appearing for a deposition, I believe, a few weeks ago, but I received the date and time on Friday.
All right. And you went over the deposition notice?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
All right, sorry. Couple of things. I rush into things, so stop me if you wish to say something. I'm going to try to take my 3-second rule that I always give my clients. So forgive me if I jump on over while you're talking. Let me know and I'll stop. That's Zoom. That's everything. Secondly, you haven't given a deposition before. This deposition has been given under the auspices, as the court reporter said, of the Michigan Court Rules and Michigan Rules of Evidence. You said you haven't given a deposition before. You have looked over the deposition notice. Is that correct? Yes?
Yes, I'm trying to open it and I'm having trouble opening, but I've everything that's been sent to me, I have reviewed, yes.
Good. And is after reviewing the deposition notice that you received on Friday afternoon at 2:30 p.m., is there anything after your review that you're not qualified to answer?
I don't believe so.
Okay. So you can answer all the questions based upon the notice, yes?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yes.
All right. So by nature, the deposition procedure generally, but we're on Zoom. I don't know if your counsel's counseled you on this, but there should be an affirmative response. I'm not telling you what to do, but for the court reporter, not for me, but for the court reporter, so she can accurately put down what she says. So try to be a little heavier and louder an affirmative without me telling you what to do, but that is for the court reporter. Is that clear?
Yep.
And I have your agreement that unless you tell me otherwise, you understand what I'm asking you, given the conditions, correct?
Correct.
And I will gladly receive, and you will let me know if you don't understand or need me to repeat something, correct?
Certainly, yes.
Thank you very much. It's just a complicated deal with the Zoom and everything. You were asked about who you work for. Who is your employer?
PCA Acquisitions 5 LLC.
Okay, and I just noticed something. Just help me out here. What is Invenio?
That's a DBA that we use generally on the purchasing side with the original creditors. It's not really, it's not our formal name.
Okay, so Invenio Financial is that, or what's the
Yep,
name?
Invenio Financial.
Okay, so do you work for PCA 5 LLC, or do you work for Invenio Financial?
PCA Acquisitions 5 LLC.
So that's who's on your paycheck?
Phillips and Cohen is likely Phillips and Cohen Associates is what it says on my paycheck.
What is Phillips and Cohen? Do you say associates?
Yep.
What is that?
They're a collection agency.
Is that an agency or a law firm?
It's an agency.
Okay. And so this is new to me.
Mhm.
On your paycheck, it says Phillips and Cohen.
Correct. Yep.
Is that an LLC or a PC or anything like that?
Limited Ltd.
Limited Ltd. In the state of Massachusetts, you said you were?
No, I'm currently in Maine. They're based in Delaware.
They're in Delaware. And is that where their office is?
Yes.
So you're there permanently in Maine, or just for the week, or just for the
Yeah,
week?
just yes.
So where are you located when you're working?
I work from home. I
for
live
you.
in Pennsylvania, but yeah, I do commute to the office in Delaware when necessary.
Okay, so help me out here. So you don't work for PCA 5 LLC. You work for Phillips and Cohen Associates, yes?
Phillips and Cohen Associates would be the name on my check.
Okay.
PCA Acquisitions is the debt buying arm of the Phillips and Cohen Associates umbrella of companies. Yes.
Okay, so it's a debt buying arm. Is it? And I know I guess I'll take your word for that, meaning I trust that that's true.
A division, I'm sorry. Arm is probably a poor choice of words.
I get it. It's all corporate and stuff. But you actually work for Phillips and Cohen.
I don't do any work for the agency. The only work that I do is for PCA Acquisitions,
A
the debt
division.
buyer.
A division. Then if you know, why is your paycheck not from PCA 5?
I don't know the answer to that.
So as far as your paycheck is concerned, you work for Phillips and Cohen.
That's what it says on my paycheck.
Okay, and who hired you, PCA or Phillips and Cohen?
PCA Acquisitions.
A specific person from that division hired you into the job?
Matt Saperstein. Yes.
Matt Saperstein. I've seen that name before. Excuse me a second. I just want to check something. Who is Matt Saperstein to you?
He's the chief operating officer of PCA Acquisitions.
All right, so that is a company you're saying, and you work for them because he hired you. Is that what your testimony is?
Yes.
Okay, and but you're paid by Phillips and Associates, Phillips and Cohen. Yes?
That's Phillips and Cohen Associates is the parent company.
Is the parent company of what companies?
There's a number of companies, but one of them is PCA Acquisitions.
And to your best recollection, they are just a division, but they are separate LLC.
Yes, it's registered as a debt buyer in most states. It has to register as a collection agency in certain ones, depending on those states' laws. But yeah, it's a PCA Acquisitions is a debt buyer, registered as a debt buyer,
And you are a resident of what state?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, so how long have you worked at, well, PCA/Phillips and Cohen?
I was hired in January of 2022.
And what were you hired in as your job title?
Operations Support Specialist.
And what is that?
It's a bit broad. I do some performance management. I do supplier and seller examinations, so auditing. That's probably what I was mostly hired on to do. And then I handle media as well, which is statements and documentation from original creditors and the transition from the original creditors and then onto our agencies and suppliers that work for us.
I understand some of that, but what is a performance specialist?
Performance specialist. I don't believe I used that
You
word.
said performance something at the very beginning of your.
Yeah, I mean, I manage performance. So we review our suppliers and we have weekly meetings to go over the collections.
What's a supplier?
It's an agency, a collection agency, or law firms, if you know that represent us. Anybody who's representing us collecting a debt.
So you're a liaison for the people that collect for you around the state or the country? Performance person, manager?
That's not how I would describe myself, but that is part of my job.
Okay, so you would handle, were you aware of this case before, when I say this case, the case that we're deposing you on today, before you received the deposition notice?
Yes, I appeared at a hearing earlier. I want to say it was back in April or May. I didn't have to give any testimony at that time. I believe it was continued.
I don't recall you being at any hearing, and what would have been your role?
I didn't really have a role, as it turns out. I was willing to give any testimony if necessary. I can't recall why, but it was continued.
Did you have any input or control of how the lawsuit in this case was written?
No.
You said you're a performance manager. Do you audit the performance of your law firms as far as they're writing lawsuits on your company's behalf?
No.
Who does?
That's more of our chief compliance officer.
So you had nothing to do with the lawsuit that was filed on your company's behalf?
Can you be more specific what you mean by nothing to do with? I mean, I'm involved in it, but I'm not responsible for how it's filed, when it's filed.
How about the documents used to file it?
The exhibits.
Mhm.
That's part, yes, I mean, we would provide the exhibits to the firm,
We, but not you.
me or somebody else who works in a similar capacity to me.
Did you supply the documents prior to the lawsuit being filed in this case
Yes,
to the law firm? You did.
correct.
How do you know you did?
Because there's a way for us to track it with just file paths and who's uploaded to our FTP. That's all documented.
What did you supply the law firm for this lawsuit?
The account statements that were provided to us at the time of sale, the terms and conditions that were provided to us at the time of sale.
Anything else?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Do you know why the law firm did not provide that until 6 months later, as far as provide it to?
I do not.
Okay. Is that your policy?
Is it our policy to,
Have them
Pro-
hold back on paperwork?
we don't dictate that kind of policy?
Okay. If you would, the deposition notice, you've testified that you're fully capable of answering any questions based upon that deposition notice. You recall saying that?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, your education, any college?
Yes.
How much?
Bachelor's,
In what?
political science.
Hey, me too. What are you gonna do with it?
This, I
And
guess.
excuse me. Where'd you go?
The Sales University in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Is that like a state school?
No, it's a private, it's Catholic religious.
Wow, you paid all that money and got the degree you really wanted. That's great.
Yeah.
My parents were mad at me for that. Anyway, so did you go and get more education after that?
No.
And did you get any education in your line of work currently? Or just tell me about that education.
Formal education, no.
So no training in the job you're doing?
There's training. We do annual training on, laws and regulations, FDCPA, etc.
When was the last class you took in regarding the FDCPA?
Last month.
And what did it consist of? How long? How many days?
No number of days. It's just an annual training. It's more of like an examination that a quiz, if you will. That's and then I sign off on receiving
How many hours?
documentation and one.
So you took an hour of training on the FDCPA. And prior to that, when was your last training on the FDCPA?
The month before.
Oh, you do it every month?
Mhm.
Oh, good. And what grade did you get?
I believe I got 100.
All right, good. You had mentioned before that you sent to the law firm, hold on. A terms and conditions of sale. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And do you have that in front of you? Your counsel should have sent it to you or you to him.
Yeah, I have the Exhibit A.
All right. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, shoot, it's upside down. That is great. All right. And where did you, let's say you, receive the terms and conditions? From whom did you receive them?
So
Let's do this. I apologize. I just cut you off, but it'd be better if we did this. Go to exhibit, we got to do this right. Go to exhibit 4, assignment and card holder agreement. Would you please?
Exhibit 4.
Did your counsel provide you with exhibit 4? Civic 3, exhibit 2, exhibit 1?
I have lettered exhibits.
He seems to be muted, but Mr. Sarhan, did you send that to him for the deposition?
Yes, Dylan, that would have been the last email that you got.
So when you get it, Mr. Roberts, go to exhibit 4.
This morning.
Sorry, question?
That was sent this morning. Is that
I
right?
guess. Exhibit 4. Let me know when you're ready. You ready?
No.
Are you still searching or what are you
I'm
doing?
not searching. My system filtered it out. And so I've requested the exhibits. Our
It's like a Google
info
deal.
security.
Yeah. So are you requesting Alex send it back to you?
I'm requesting now.
Alex, can you email it to him?
Yeah, I can send it again.
I see the email. It's there was no attachment because it says that we sent you safe versions of your files. So I'm requesting that the exhibits, the full email be sent. But there was
Is that
no
gonna take
attachment
long?
initially. I couldn't tell you. I hope not.
Can't you just directly email it to him, Alex?
Yes, it was directly emailed. Dylan, what would be the best way to get it to you right now? To sort of circumvent whatever security problems there are?
Well, there's really no way to circumvent the security. If it can be uploaded to our FTP, which is usually what Vanessa provides us documentation.
Okay, Brian, which exhibit did you ask him to look at? The card agreement?
Exhibit 4. I wonder if I could share screen.
Well, exhibit 4. Dylan, you have the assignment and cardholder agreement in a separate email as well, don't you?
I have a card agreement. Yes.
All right, let's talk.
Is
It's
that all right, Brian, if he just pulls that one up?
sure, as long as you agree it's the same one,
It is, yes,
because it's the only one you sent me, right?
correct.
So base number 3 is how in the exhibit number 4 in this case starts. And it says page 1. Do you have page 1 of your contract, Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
All right. This was identified. I received this Sunday, I think. So this was identified as a card agreement. Can you provide me some identifier or connection to Mr. Thomason, Jason Thomason?
No, there's nothing that lists the consumer's name in card agreements ever.
What about his signature?
No.
If you can see it from my viewpoint, to get into court, basically everything is hearsay unless there's an exception. This as you've identified, there's no connection to my client. How do you know this was the original contract that he agreed to? Let me ask it that way.
Upon information and belief, it's what's provided from the original creditor.
All right, so you said upon information and belief, and then you said, I don't know. That's why you're here. Do you have some way of knowing? Let me ask you this. When did Mr. Thomason, you've been supplied as the guy most knowledgeable of the case and have said you've read the notice and you're qualified to answer the questions. When did Mr. Thomason sign the contract in this case?
The use of the card is the
That's not what I'm
agreement to the
asking.
terms and conditions.
Thank you. But when did he sign up for this debt? It's a very common thing to know.
The account was opened
Ah.
April 29th of 2017.
April 29th, 2017. And with whom did he open this account with? Now you should know that right off the bat.
The account was opened by with Citibank.
And what are you, you're not coming from your memory, correct?
No, I have documentation to support it.
Did you send that documentation to your counsel and to
It's
me?
our system. It's what's in our system.
How do you know it is true?
It's what the original creditor provided.
That was the same question. How do you know that that is correct?
It's what the original creditor provided.
Have you taken any training or classes with Citibank to see how they create the systems?
We do train with Citibank, but we don't get access to their system.
Have you trained on how they create their documents and the proof that they send you?
No.
So you would not know how the documents you're looking at right now are created. Is that correct?
I do not know.
Okay, you have no input there?
No.
So you just have to take it on faith that they're correct?
I don't know that I would say I take it on faith, but I believe that they're correct. Yeah.
Because?
Because that's how, yeah. Okay. I don't know.
You don't know. All right. So you don't know, and you can't testify today that the contract you sent over in this case is the one that Mr. Thomason agreed to. Is that correct? You need me to repeat the question?
No, yes, that's correct.
What is correct?
What you stated is correct.
You don't know if this is the contract that Mr. Thomason agreed to. Is that correct?
As far as I'm aware, it is.
Brian,
Yes.
just by contract, what exactly are you referring to?
What he was referring to and what we're reading.
The terms and conditions
If you want, call it that, fine.
or
Is
the
this-
card agreement itself? Just want to make sure we're referring just to
All right,
that.
so this is identified as the card agreement
Correct.
by your counsel. But you are testifying there's no connection to Mr. Thomason with this card agreement. Is that correct?
There's nothing that states the consumer's name in the
Okay.
card agreement, and there's no signature, correct?
Right. So, so we can't hold these terms and conditions against Mr. Thomason without some identifying proof or connection to this contract. Do you agree?
I don't agree,
Because?
because this is what was provided by Citibank.
Right.
So they provided this to the consumer. The consumer used the card.
I'm down with what you think, but the truth is, as you've testified, there's no connection with this agreement and Mr. Thomason, as you've testified. So these terms and conditions cannot be held against him without some connection or identifier, other than you saying, they sent him to me. I don't know how they set this up. I haven't taken the right training. You've got no evidence in your
Right.
hands, correct?
Brian, objection, Brian. He
You're
never
right.
said
Let me
he never
rephrase.
took the wrong training.
Let me rephrase. You've testified that there's no connection between this agreement and Mr. Thomason. Your lawsuit says he breached the terms and conditions. By the way, without identifying this agreement, which terms and conditions are you saying he breached?
The terms and conditions in the card agreement.
All right, but there's no connection to him for him to this,
There's no signature.
right?
That's correct.
And there's no way of proving this, he received this. Is that correct? Is that correct?
I would have to go back to Citibank and request something.
And the case has been going over 6 months. Did you do that?
No, I have not.
Okay. Anybody ask you to do that?
No.
Okay. So, you believe that the debt was created in, I think you said April of 2017, correct?
April 29th of 2017.
Okay, and this agreement is, I'm sorry, it's on the side for me. This agreement was created, at least what it says is 2/15. Do you see that on the last page?
$215. I don't see $215 now.
Last page 7 to your, it's upside down for me, but to your, if
$215.
you can hear me, sorry, the mic's off. Page 7 to your right.
No, I don't see anything that says $215.
Well, I got it from you.
Yeah, I don't see anything that says $215.
It says 2015 Citibank.
Oh,
NF.
yes, it does say 2015.
All right. So were there any amendments to this agreement after that? You see amendments all the time. I know you do.
No,
There weren't any amendments, or you haven't seen them?
I haven't seen any.
Okay. And he signed up, you believe, in 217, and this is 215. Oh, by the way, if I might ask, at the top of this page is an EA-HIP-011. It looks like 6. Am I correct?
Going back to it.
At the top of the page?
EA-HIP-0116.
Yes, sir. What does that mean?
So that is a identifier. So how the card agreement is matched up. So as we've discussed and agreed, these aren't individualized to an individual consumer. They're individualized to specific card types.
Mhm.
So this EA-HIP-0116 matches Sears Home Improvement Account Citibank cards.
All right, but not Mr. Thomason's specifically.
It is broader than that, so it's all
So the answer
Sears Home
is
Improvement
no.
accounts.
It's not identified as Mr. Thomason's, correct?
There's nothing that states the consumer's name in the card agreement. There's nothing that has the consumer's signature in the card agreement.
Okay, that isn't what I asked you. There's no identifier. That EA-HIP-0116 is not specific to Mr. Thomason. Is that correct?
This card agreement is not exclusively issued to one individual card.
All right, and you just said, now you're saying Sears Home Improvement. Is that what this card was started by, Mr. Thomason seeking to improve his home through Sears? Do you have evidence of that?
I don't know if he was trying to improve his home. but it is a Sears card.
Ah, okay. And so the original, so he got this card from Sears?
I can't state with certainty, but that's typically, yes, typically they're signed up for in store or online.
Okay. And you don't know if that's the case here or you're,
I don't know. No, I don't
Okay.
have that information.
I'm just trying to get certainty here. I'm not getting anything. So let's move on. This also has a thing called a bill of sale and assignment. It's just for the record here, it's Bates number 011. For you, it'll just be, I think, bill of a sale and assignment number 1. Do you see that?
Yes,
And is that Matthew Saperstein that you talked about earlier that hired you?
Yep.
Is that his signature that is perfectly lined up but not on the line?
yes.
Do you know if that's his actual signature that he signed on that agreement or
No,
if that's a cut and paste?
it's an electronic signature.
Okay, so he didn't sign it. Somebody put an electronic signature on it.
He put an electronic signature on it
How do you know?
because he's the only one who has access to his signature.
I know that, but how do you know he put it on there?
Well, he's the
Did
only
you
one who has
witness him
access
do
to his
this?
signature. I did not witness him.
So you've no, okay, so you did not witness him put that signature on the, it's called, it's again, it's Deposition Exhibit 4, Bates number 111 for the record. Sorry, Mr. Roberts. But you did not witness him sign this, correct?
Correct.
And what date did he sign this?
This would have been May
Remember, you didn't
26,
witness it.
2023.
But you didn't witness this. Correct?
Right. I did not.
So you have no idea when he signed that, correct? There's no date next to his name.
There's no date next to his name.
And did he sign it in the same room as Terry Bergman?
Most definitely not.
Oh, you're certain? Why is that?
I just know for a fact that he didn't.
Sign it at the same time as Terry Bergman.
No, they're sent from Citibank over to Matt for his counter signature.
Okay. Is that done on the same day that they're
Yes,
signed? Hello?
yes.
And how do you know that?
That's just the procedure.
Have you witnessed this occur?
I mean, I'm copied on the emails. So in that sense,
So you haven't witnessed it.
I'm not in the same room with Matt now.
Okay. Does he sign a lot of these all in one day?
Usually one.
Back to the question that was similar to the one for the contract. I do not see anything of Mr. Thomason's being assigned or sold in this document, which is titled Bill of Sale and Assignment, Bulk Accounts, City Retail Services, DSA Bulk Accounts. Do you see something with his name on it in this Bill of Sale and Assignment?
No, there's nothing with an individual consumer's name.
This was presented to me as the assignment that assigned the debt of the specific consumer, Mr. Thomason, but you're saying it doesn't do that. There's no specific name of Mr. Thomason in this. Is that correct?
There is no specific name, Mr. Thomason. That's correct.
Do you have a specific assignment from Citibank to PCA Acquisitions, a specific assignment with Mr. Thomason's name in it?
A document, an assignment document? No.
Okay. How does Mr. Thomason know that PCA was assigned the debt from Citibank. When I say the debt, I mean his debt. Like I'm trying to prove ownership of this debt, and I've gone through all your paperwork, and there's nothing signed by Saperstein or Bergman with his name, Mr. Thompson, my client, in it. Do you have that document showing ownership?
I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't understand the question.
You have a bill of sale from Citibank to PCA 5 with Mr. Thomason's name in it. Yes or no?
a bill of sale? No.
And you already said you have no assignment either, correct?
Right.
All right.
Brian, I believe attached to,
If unless you got an objection.
go.
So let me see if I can wrap this up for you. Your time is important. I just want to make this efficient. Oh, attached to the exhibit 4 is, it looks like a couple of boxes. And the first box, it's not numbered, it's not signed, it's not connected to anything. It shows 29 April 2017. Is that where you got your information separate from your memory that the debt was created on that date?
So what you're referring to is,
You're going to answer the question, or you're going to narrate? What are you going to tell me? Is that where you got it from? Yes or no?
no.
All right. At the bottom of the bill of sale, page 1, it says Invenio 121522. Do you see that? Yeah, I gotta look close too.
Yep.
What does that identify?
Nothing.
Well, it's there for a reason. What's Invenio?
Invenio Financial is the DBA for PCA acquisitions. So in our dealings, or our correspondence with Citibank, we are marketing as Invenio Financial.
Okay, so and then over to the right is XO801. Do you see that?
Mhm.
I just can't, I have to ask everything. What does that mean?
That's just a page number.
So the next document is that thing, says open account, open date. It's Bates number 12 of exhibit 4. And then it's got nothing, just the date that you referenced. And then at the bottom of it is nothing. There's none of the identifiers, no signatures, just nothing. I'll go to the next one. Maybe there's something there. Nope, none of these sheets have any identifier what they're connected to. All right, let me just see if there's any other more questions. Oh, the amount that Mr. Thomason is alleged to have that owes here. Have you seen the lawsuit in this case?
Yeah, I have.
When I say lawsuit, your client's lawsuit.
Right.
Your client
Yes.
meaning this company,
PCA acquisitions.
no, Shamed. Let's do this. Do you have the deposition notice exhibit 1, or can Alex forward it to you?
So in what I received, I have a billing statement, bill of sale, and card agreement.
Yeah, that's exhibit 4. But I sent your counsel.
Yeah.
Can you send him the lawsuit, Alex?
Yeah, that was in the last email that it looks like he wasn't able to open. I'm gonna send it again.
Maybe Mr. Roberts, he can send it to your personal email for you to open. If I'm not being, I'm not telling you what to do.
It's the same situation as before. Our servers didn't send it with exhibits. I am requesting the
All right.
exhibits
Have
to
you
be
seen the
sent.
lawsuit in this case? Have they sent that to you?
It sounds like I have not.
Okay. They are claiming that Mr. Thomason owes an amount of $5,260.80. What, how do you prove that he owes that amount? What do you have, do you have all the billing statements that show all the purchases he made? That you
So
allege?
currently we don't. Those have been requested from Citibank. They do take some time. So, but the request has been made. Typically, Citibank provides us with the most recent 12 months of statements.
And and when did you request it?
I requested it about 2 weeks ago.
Because I requested it from you guys a month ago.
Okay.
Why did you not get that request?
I couldn't answer that.
All right. When you say your counsel is alleging that Mr. Thomason owes 5260.80, you currently don't have proof of that, the makeup of that amount. Is that correct?
Currently, we do not have full account statements from the account open
Yet
date
your
of April.
attorney, it
2017.
looks like Natasha Dixit is signing her name to a document saying, we have proof of that, even though you're now testifying you don't. Do you allow your attorneys to make that allegation when they don't have proof?
I'm looking for where that is.
That's
That's in
the
the
complaint.
in the complaint.
Do you want, I'm going to share my screen and hopefully I don't do anything wrong. You ready?
Yeah.
Let me see if I do this right. I'll try. Don't laugh at me if I screw this up. Okay.
I promise I won't.
See anything?
I do.
Hey, I did it. Okay. So that's the lawsuit that your attorney filed with no exhibits, by the way, no proof, no assignment, nothing. You said you sent it to them. Is that correct?
Sent.
You said you sent the statements and the contract to them. Is that correct?
We provided 12 months of statements and the card
Oh.
agreement.
So then they served and signed this with no proof. You say you manage their performance. May I direct you to number 4 of my share screen, which is Exhibit 1, Bates 7. Bates is just a numbering system.
Okay.
So Exhibit 1, deposition notice, which has the complaint at number 7. You can see me scrolling. You see that where it says 5260.080?
Mm-hmm.
And you've just testified that you don't have proof of that, correct? Yet.
We
Correct?
have account statements that show, the balance of 52.60 and 80 cents.
But nothing
Um,
showing how that was accumulated, correct?
Not the entirety of it. I would imagine that goes back to the beginning of the when the account was opened.
And number 4 says the account was duly assigned in the normal course of business. What does the normal course of business mean?
Um, I don't know. I don't know
Right.
how to.
You testified earlier there was no bill of sale, no assignment specific to Mr. Thomason. So what's the evidence of number 4 being true? Of your lawsuit?
The
Specific to Mr. Thomason.
Right. I mean, it's the electronic files that we receive from Citibank is what has the consumer's information on it, as well as the account statements. And
But back to what you originally said, there is no assignment specific to Mr. Thomason, correct?
the assignment and bill of sale do not indicate any consumers individually. No.
Okay. What terms and conditions, number 5, number 6, forgive me, sorry. I'm going to close this out so I can get you out of here. Defendants or defendant is defaulted under the terms and conditions. What terms and conditions of what contract has Mr. Thomason defaulted under?
The card agreement.
Yeah, but which one?
The one that we've exhibit A or exhibit 4, I think you said
Yeah,
it
we
was.
talked about that. There's no connection to Mr. Thomason.
Right.
Right. So what terms and conditions are you saying he breached?
Those.
But he is not connected to the ones you presented. So which ones did he breach?
He is connected. We don't, but again, we don't have anything with his name or signature on it.
I'll move on. It speaks for itself. If you don't mind, I wonder if I can just help you out here. Hold on. Exhibit. Yeah. Let's go back to the contract. And it would be your page. It's upside down.
What page?
Forgive me,
I have
sorry.
it right-sided.
Huh?
I said I have it right-sided.
Oh, sorry. All right, go to page 6.
Okay.
Your page 6, and it is my Bates number 8 for exhibit 4. I hope I'm keeping a clean record here. Let me know when you're there.
I'm there.
There's a thing called governing law and enforcing our rights. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Are you reading it for the first time?
I'm not reading it for the first time. No. For the first
is
time
that?
in a bit.
I get it. What is that?
Which section specifically?
All right, first one, governing law, federal law and the law of South Dakota. Where we are located govern the terms and enforcement of this agreement. Does your agreement say that?
It does.
And what does that mean?
It means, I don't, federal law and the law of South Dakota govern the terms of the agreement.
All right. So where was this lawsuit filed?
Michigan.
Is there anything in the lawsuit that says South Dakota or federal law govern this agreement?
Say that again.
Is there anything in the contract, excuse me, in the complaint, I can go back to if you want me to share, that says in Michigan, we are suing Mr. Thomason under the laws of federal law and South Dakota?
No.
But it says right in the contract, that's what you have to do, correct?
It says, yes, it says that federal and South Dakota law govern the terms of the agreement.
Why didn't you sue under South Dakota or federal law?
It's where the consumer is domiciled is where suit is filed.
Is that what it says in the agreement? I can't see that.
No, that's not what it says in the agreement.
So you'd agree that anybody suing under a contract must also not breach the contract. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, that is fair.
And you have breached the contract by
Object-
not suing under
Brian,
federal.
objection.
Can I finish? Then you can object.
Yes.
So new question. PCA Acquisitions 5, LLC has not sued Mr. Thomason under the terms and conditions of this contract. Is that correct?
I'm not an attorney. I don't really know
What
if I
don't you
can
know?
answer that.
Do you see South Dakota mentioned in the complaint? I can send it to you again if you'd like.
No, that I can answer. I do not.
That's correct. And in a sense, or not in a sense, you haven't kept to the conditions of the contract. Is that correct?
I don't know
What don't you know?
if we've kept to the conditions of the contract or not.
If you had sued under South Dakota law, would you be under the conditions of the contract you're presenting?
I suppose.
Yeah, or federal law, you'd be following the contract, correct?
Sure.
Objection, Brian. You keep asking the question.
That's federal law. He made the distinction, so does the contract. So your
He-
attorney walked on your answer there. To properly sue under the governing law, you have to sue under federal or South Dakota law, correct?
Yeah.
According to the contract.
I don't know.
Did you not understand my question?
Counsel, I have to step in. As he indicated, he is not an attorney. He's not
He
responsible.
never
for
said he
where the
wasn't an
law-
attorney. Why are you
He
putting
did
words
state
in?
that. He stated that a
I
minute
did
ago.
state that.
All right. So does Mr. Thomason have to be an attorney to interpret the terms and conditions of his contract, Mr. Roberts?
I don't know if he does or not.
Do you have to be?
To interpret,
The terms and conditions of this contract that you are alleging Mr. Thomason breached? Not you, PCA. Does he have to be an attorney?
who, Mr. Thomason?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you have to be an attorney in order to understand the terms and conditions of this contract?
I don't know.
You don't know if you have to be?
No, I don't.
Meaning,
know.
when you get a credit card, do you have an attorney look at it before you sign it?
I suppose you could.
I didn't ask that. I said you. When you sign up for a debt, do you first talk to an attorney, or are you able to read the terms and conditions before you sign? Yes or no?
There's no requirement to
Right.
speak with an attorney prior
So you
to.
don't have to be an attorney to be able to read. Is that correct?
Right.
And PCA is not sued under federal or South Dakota law, correct?
Correct.
Ah, I forgot to ask you two things, and I will get you out of here. I'm sorry, Mr. Roberts. I'm not lying to you. I just sometimes a person says something and something else comes up. This may sound weird to you, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Can you? I'll share with you. See if I can share. Yes. Did that come up in front of you, Mr. Roberts?
There, I see the complaint.
Good. Where is the word debt in that complaint?
Nowhere.
So what is Mr. Thomason charged with owing?
What amount or
Well, we can't get to the amount until we figure out what he owes the amount for.
Mhm.
What's he accused of owing?
I'm not really following.
Why? Shermetta's a debt collector. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they're a law
You're
firm.
seeking to collect a debt by having them sue Mr. Thomason. Is that correct?
Yes.
The word debt is not in the lawsuit. So what is it you're pursuing from him?
Yeah, I'm still not understanding what you mean.
What does he owe?
$5,260.80.
Which you've said you have no proof of at this time. But does he
But
owe?
that's what we're suing.
You're hoping, right? Do
Correct.
you have certainty that that will present absolute proof?
That what will present absolute proof.
You've ordered this stuff 2 weeks ago.
Correct. The statements were ordered 2 weeks ago from
Right.
April 29th of 2017 to when the account charged
Likely
off.
they've been purged, but that's another story. The word debt is not mentioned here. So let me do it this way. Are you pursuing a debt to be paid by Mr. Thompson? Yes or no?
Yes.
Where's proof of that? Let's start with where's the word debt in the
There is no word debt in this complaint.
Okay. So it doesn't say you're pursuing him for a debt. What are you pursuing him for?
A debt with account number ending in 6596.
Show me where it says a debt with
It
account
doesn't.
number
We've
65.
established that.
Say it again. I apologize. You
We've
talk about-
established it doesn't say a debt.
All right. So you tell me, you're the guy that sends the information to the law firm. Where's proof of debt?
In this complaint, where is proof of debt?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you mean.
Where is a proof of a debt owed by Mr. Thomason in this lawsuit?
It doesn't say debt.
Okay. So let me go through a summary here and you tell me if any of this is incorrect. You don't have proof of the exact makeup of the 5260.80 you allege Mr. Thomason owed, but you have ordered some statements from city. Is that correct?
Yep, we've ordered the account statements from the beginning, the opening of the account to charge off.
Great. And you testified you do not have an assignment or bill of sale specific to Mr. Thomason, correct? Say yes or no.
There's nothing individual that states the consumer, Mr. Thomason's name on a bill of sale or assignment.
All right. And further, you can identify the terms and conditions of a contract signed by Mr. Thomason that he's alleged to have breached or violated. Is that correct?
There's nothing that has the consumer's name on the card agreement or the terms and conditions. That's correct.
Okay. And then, okay, and then I am gonna finish. I said there were two things. That was that. And then lastly, I'm gonna ask a little bit more of what you've learned as far as education is concerned. You said you do a monthly thing on the FDCPA. You have a really good degree. You're capable, well-spoken, so you're educated, and you have been what I consist of one of the most honest people as far as talking. So I've enjoyed meeting you in this brief time. What I'd like to get into now is the word and concept of securitization. Are you familiar with that in any way?
Not really. I don't have a ton of knowledge on it now.
When someone says that, it means they have some or a small amount. Is that correct? What do you know?
I really don't have any
But-
knowledge on it.
The reason I ask is today, a lot of these debts are securitized.
Yeah, this is not,
And you know that because?
because I just know that that is our practice.
Let me back you up. I'm not saying you guys securitize. The original creditor generally will securitize a debt, keep
Okay.
collecting on what's called an account, and then service the account from the original, like, for example, Mr. Thomason.
I see. I don't have any knowledge around that.
All right. So I wasn't saying you
Process.
guys securitize, but you have no evidence one way or the other that the debt was or was not securitized by Citigroup.
No, not that I'm aware of.
You also don't know how the debt was initiated, meaning you believe it's a Sears card, but you don't know if Mr. Thomason got this from Sears. Is that correct? You got nothing in front of you.
He's allegedly, opened the account
don't
with
know.
Sears.
Allegedly, do you have proof of this?
I suppose no, I do not.
You do not. Okay. Back to this Invenio Financial. When did that come on board? Meaning, when did you learn about Invenio Financial? Was that after you joined in 2022, was it, or 21?
No, I believe it was advertised as Invenio Financial.
When?
Like when I, applied and was interviewing.
So I'm looking online, and you can take that for whatever you want. Says PCA acquisitions. We have recently undergone transformations to emerge as the new Invenio Financial. Do you know when they became Invenio Financial?
No, it was before I started.
They're looking at underserved portfolio segments, unoffered opportunities, blah, blah, blah. So, what is Invenio Financial's role at your company?
I'm not, it's a DBA. It's just how we market to sellers like Citibank.
All right. So if you're marketing Invenio Financial, What's PCA got to do with it?
PCA acquisitions.
Yes, sir.
That's the registered name. So, I mean, that's what this lawsuit is filed under, and that's what we're licensed as a debt buyer under the name PCA
So-
acquisitions.
PCA doesn't have a building or anything. It's just a name, a marketing name.
Doesn't have a building. We share a building with Phillips and the parent company, Phillips and Co. and Associates.
Do you see my screen?
Yep.
That's the website of a Phillips and Cohen's Associates company, Invenio Financial. Do you see that?
Yeah,
That would appear to me the company that you work for. Am I incorrect? It says Delaware. And you
Yeah.
said,
PCA
That's-
acquisitions.
yeah, so they say they've emerged as the new Invenio Financial to better, whatever, blah, blah, blah. With our new name, not assisted. So they've changed their name to a new name and a new face. Is that in keeping with your information, or do you know something different?
The registered name is PCA acquisitions.
What is registered name mean?
Well, we have to register in many different states, the LLC, to do
All right.
business.
And have you done any work for Invenio?
I suppose.
So they said, why did PCA acquisitions change? So PCA doesn't exist anymore. PCA acquisitions has undergone strategic transformations that warranted a rebranding campaign to better reflect our growth. What a lot of nonsense. As we continue to grow, Invenio Financial will serve as our company brand. So is Invenio taken over for PCA as they're saying on their website?
No.
No? You say no? And what evidence do you have that contradicts their own website?
Does it say that they're don't do business as PC, or they're not registered as PCA acquisitions anywhere?
It says, why did PCA acquisitions change to Invenio Financial? And they undergone a strategic transformation that warranted a rebranding campaign to better reflect our growth and strategic vision. Just company nonsense. So they're saying Invenio Financial will serve as our company brand. Do you have any thing that contradicts that?
Contradicts that the brand is Invenio Financial?
Yes, sir.
No.
Let me see do you guys have a website?
That was the website.
Ah, so the website of PCA is the Invenio website. Yes?
Yeah.
And how long has this been true?
I have no idea.
So are you testifying that a marketing brand exists called PCA Acquisitions 5, LLC?
Marketing brand.
What is it? What does it reflect? What does that name reflect, given the change? So what does it now reflect?
I don't know. I don't understand the question.
Who are they? If Invenio Financial Specialized Acquisition is now the company name, you said it's the company website. So who is PCA 5
The
Acquisitions 5?
registered The registered name.
But what does that mean to you? Registered name.
We're registered as a debt buyer
Okay.
under PCA acquisitions.
All right. And is Invenio active in some way?
It's a DBA. It's a doing business as name.
Not according to this. They have their own corporation and the website goes to them. Meaning, let's do it this way. Why wasn't Invenio Financial the plaintiff in this case?
Because the registered name is PCA acquisitions.
All right. And PCA Acquisitions has a company that's employees.
It's an LLC. There's employees.
And you're not one of them.
I don't know the Dylan. I mean, it's a under the parent company of Phillips and Co. and Associates.
Right. That's who employs you and pays your paycheck.
I don't really look at my paychecks, but I believe Phillips and Cohen would be the name on there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You've been a good sport. I thank you. Unless your attorney has other questions, now I'll have to ask you some more questions. I think that's it. Mr. Saran, do you have any questions for your witness?
No, Brian.
All right, Mr. Roberts, it's been a pleasure. Have a very good day.
And
Thank you. You do
councilors,
the
before
same.
we go
Sorry.
off the record, could we confirm orders, please?
Yes. And how do I get a hold of the video? I want to use it in every way possible.
Okay, so do you want to order the video synced to the transcript?
Yeah, it's probably going to cost me, but I'm going to put it on my website. But I want the transcript, obviously. Well, wait a minute. Isn't that naturally transcribed when you get the video?
You can get just the video or where it's synced to the transcript.
Obviously, there's a greater cost when I do it that way.
Yes, that I don't know, that you'd have to check with them.
All right, so first give me the video, then when I need the transcript, I'll order that. How's that? Is that
Nicole,
good,
did
Ms.
you need to
Brooks?
confirm anything?
Yes, I can hear that. That's fine with me. If you would just let us know when you would like a copy of the transcript, if you would not like a copy right now and just the video, sir.
And how long does it take to get, we're off the record, right?
Not yet.
We're off the record.
Just, Mr. Saran, do you have an order?
I don't believe we do.
Okay,
So I'm going
thank
to
you.
I'm putting it on my website. When is that going to be available?
Counselor, do you want to go off the record first?
Okay.
This concludes the video conference deposition of Dylan Roberts. We're going off the record on July 29th, 2024 at 10:20 a.m. Eastern.